Hi Preetham, welcome to today's conversation. It's going to be very spontaneous. Nothing we have planned before, and it's all
Hmm.
about your journey into Web3. So, before I start, let me introduce you. So, you are working at Huddle as a marketing and communication guy.
Hmm.
So, tell us about your journey into Web3. Like, how did you enter the space? Because, like, when I was your age, I had no clue about Web3. Even it did not cross my mind when I was in school. And when did you enter the market? How did you start your journey? Just talk a little bit on that.
So, like, to be very fair, I am like very random into this space. So, I started out with like learning finance. So, I started out when I was in 11th. So, currently I'm in 12th. So, it has been like a year for me researching, learning, and all this stuff. I started really learning about stocks where I went a lot deep into fundamentals. I'm not a like technical guy who will like see the graph. I'm more of like कि कैसे perform करे, what are the profit margins, what are the revenue sales, and all this. I learned a lot of that, to be fair, like a lot. I was like into that. Then I did not invest in like paisa nahi tha na. So I learned, and like YouTube algorithm feeds you with specific and related content. I also heard a lot of podcasts, and many of them was beer biases because it's Indian centric and you relate to that, right? I did not hear to Joe Rogan. Obviously, now I do because it's a like very thing. It's a thing which you will learn in the like way. You can't go and hear your first podcast of Joe Rogan because it's English accent. It's not Indian accent, and you won't relate to that until you are like very much into podcasting. So I heard a lot of podcasts, and again, as YouTube feeds you, it fed me with one of the crypto related podcasts which Bia Biceps did with Sumit Gupta. I guess you know him. He's the founder of CoinDC. Okay? So he talked a lot about Bitcoin, how Bitcoins work, and how mining works, all this stuff. And it got me very much interested. And I was also into coding. So I used to code in C++ a bit. I was not into like very deep. And if you talk about my background, I'm from science background. I do biology. I'm not computer science person. So
You're not computer science.
nah, I'm not.
That's
So
interesting.
perfect. I'm into like psychology. I love that. And I like learned a lot of coding, and I did. Then I again like when I see about blockchain, at now many of the blockchain dApps and everything are web apps. They are not like perfect mobile apps. So I started like let's do web development rather than doing C++ because I didn't find it interesting because I'm a person who wants instant results, not in terms of like in every field, but when you write code, I should see the output in front of me. And the web development is same to that. You are a coder? Did you code anything?
Yeah, I can find it
Huh.
very relatable. Like what you're saying, when you are building a website, it's kind of very spontaneous. Like if you
Hmm.
say type in a header and you can see the change on
Hmm.
the screen, it
Yeah.
becomes more relatable to you. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's totally understandable. Please carry
Yeah.
on.
In that case, you'll be like so much motivated to build more and more stuff. And in C++, it's like very, very hectic. And especially when once you are like not in the coding background, I was like totally blank, right? I did not have any teacher or someone who would like teach me. It's totally YouTube. And I guess everybody's like that. So I learned a lot of that. Then again, I heard a podcast with Anshul Rustagi. He's the founder of Xeonverse. Like he's building metaverse with Indian ancient culture, and I would not like want to go deeper into that. But yeah, he said a lot about coding side of things and gaming side of things in blockchain. Very specifically mentioned about solidity. And what I did was I jumped into it. I did not learn web development fully. I just learned very basics and jumped into solid, which was like very big mistake, I would say. If any coder right now, don't do it because it's like very, very wrong thing. You have to learn the basics, then go forward with the like advanced topics. At a point I was making smart contracts, but I did not know how to make a front end for it. And that is really like very bad, right? You go to a hackathon, you doesn't know anything. You know that you can code, but that's not useful in any case. So for that, I again went back and learned coding, again like web development in general, everything. Then on a day, I thought ki, I am good at speaking. Like I'll be very honest. I spoke at like Eat India. I spoke with a lot of friends. I made a lot of friends, and I thought ki, chalo, like, let's see something on like marketing and community side of things because like I also learned a lot of psychology and love psychology like in terms. So then I just DM random people on Discord, mail that I do this, and I would love to work with you, and even for free, I don't mind. I just wanted to learn. So like again, one of the things which really helped me was cold DMs and emails. So if you go on my Twitter profile, you'll see I do a lot of things over there. So I love them. I like if anybody's there, just do it because it has helped me a lot. I got a lot of courses for free from like Ankur. I guess you know him. I also have a scheduled podcast with Code Eater. So he has like 38K subscribers, and that was through a like cold DM. So that's what I love that. And in that case, like I learned a lot of stuff, and then I DM Ayush Ranjan. He's the founder of Huddle01, and he said कि ठीक है एक बार बात करते हैं, let's get on a call. I said perfect. Just we went on a call. We talked random stuff, not specific to like क्या करना है. It was a general call, and then he was like find it interesting. Also like one of the thing which is very specific to me is my age, and I do a lot of times now. I don't do it. Like before, I was just in a convo randomly. I will try to like introduce my age because that will drive attention to me, right? अगर आप you're just talking with 5 people, I just come and say कि मैं 16 साल का हूँ. You're like, hey, good, and you'll talk to me, right? But now I don't do it because like I don't like that at this stage. But before on, I used to do a lot everywhere in DMs, in chats, everywhere. So again, that age factor was very much shocking and very much exciting for the founder. He took on call, we talked, he really liked, and then he said, "Ki, theek hai, we'll see." Obviously, the hiring part is not that much fast in any case, right? It takes some time. What I did to get hired was I did something very unique and very people doesn't do it, which I was like very proactive. And this is what the whole team loves about me, I guess. I just made a video on how to use Huddle01 because many people are confused on what is Huddle01 and how to use it. And if I give you an introduction to Huddle, it's a Web3 based Zoom. Also, it's an infra for Web3. I'll not go deeper now. Let's go on next questions. But that was a journey of me. And yeah, I think learning, memorizing, doing this, that, a lot of things are going wrong. But yeah, that's a very big answer. But yeah.
No, no. I mean, see, like when I was in class 12th, if I recall my story, back then I had no clue about Web3. And when the COVID thing happened, suddenly I had a lot of free time to explore random things. I had a bit of understanding about Bitcoin, but then COVID forced me to do something and explore kind of stuff. So pretty much yours, like it's my story also very similar to yours. I was good at communicating with people, and so I just DM'd a lot of people, and things happened like just like you mentioned. And I would like to know more about your school life. What your friends think about you? How do you communicate with them? Ki, I'm working at a Web3 company, and how do you explain to them what Web3 is all about? Just
Okay.
like elaborate on that.
Okay. So I don't say any of my friends that I work. Anyone. Only my family and like 2 or 3 close friends knows that I work because I think that I don't want to drive attention on that. And even the thing which I feel is like I'm talking like more mature. I don't know why, but they will feel insecure about themselves. And I don't want that because like I was like lucky enough to get some opportunities and they were good enough in studies. They did not get, and also like parents play a major role according to me because I was studying right blockchain and stuff. That means I was not getting good marks in my 12th and 11th exams. I was getting very low. Like I would say I got 60% in 11th boards, which is very low. But my parents supported me because they know like kuch to kar hi lega. And in that case, obviously like I had some like backup and I had some like I would say leverage so that I could do that. Otherwise, I would not get low marks. I would just study that. I had some leverage in terms of like I work at Huddle, but I have got a lot of offers. I don't want to join any, but I would say around 20 lakhs per annum, and that's a lot of money. Like, but the thing is like we don't learn from them. That's why I did not leave. And there's a like core member of Huddle01. He's Danish sir. So he built the platform by his own at the like very core team. He said me one thing very like unique, and he said like, "Kuch bhi kar. You're very young. I know. Like you're very talented. वो सब ठीक है. Try not to go beyond like money. Just try to learn because you have a lot of time. If you run like for money, you might make a lot of money, but then you'll be regretting yourself that why I did that. Try to learn and like explore a lot of industries. That's why I came into marketing. Otherwise, I would just do coding, right? I will not go to marketing, and I do some BD. BD means like business development for the audience. which means like getting clients, talking with them, integrations and stuff. When I come back to the school point, many the best thing about school is like many people will think me as a dumb person, and I like to be that, because in that case you know how to handle pressure and how to ignore people, because you think a teacher is scolding you in front of 25 people, where you can uphold yourself and just ignore it. And this will happen even if you like found a company. You will be a person who will be embarrassed in front of like hundreds of people. And then pressure se kuch bhi ho sakta hai. Like there's a lot of things, right? You can practice pressure in a term. So like you go to teacher, you like they scold you, you just ignore. But in the back of head, everybody knows I'm doing something, but doesn't know what I'm doing. When it comes to specific to Web3, I'm very proud that I made like 5 to 6 people in a class very much interested towards Web3. I would say that they know about how NFTs work. Like in not very like deeply, but they are like attracted by the money point, but at least they are attracted. And I think in Web3, many people are like joining because of money. Then they are learning about stuff ki acha ye utility bhi hota hai, acha community bhi hota hai. And for me, like I took a lot of sessions in my class, I would say. Like I used to go on like class board. Like what happens in English, right? English is a subject where the portion is very slow, like very low. Like it happens within like some months and बाद में free time ही होता है. So the teacher would be like कोई आके कुछ किसी को कुछ कहना तो कह, and we had a very good teacher. And I wanted to practice public speaking, and that was like you know Aman Dhattarwal, I guess you know. Yeah. So he said in one of his speech or video that like if you want to practice public speaking, just anywhere you get a chance, just raise your hand. Don't worry about क्या करना कैसे, but hard उठा लो बस. I did that. First time, fully worried. Then with time you practice and become better. And the first topic which I spoke was what is $1 million? And trust me, nobody knew how much is $1 million in Indian rupees. People are saying कि 1 million यानी बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा. I said, how much? Tell me a number. Saying don't know. And that's obviously like schooling can be blamed, cannot be blamed. That's a different topic. But I took a lot of session of metaverse. Metaverse was because it's an interesting subject. Because like people get interacted and very much interesting कि अरे goggles डालेंगे ये हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा. If I talk about Web3, they'll like क्या बात कर रहा है यार, इतना crypto economics is getting difficult. What is this like governance token? I don't want to hear me. And that's why I didn't get into crypto. Once and twice, like I read the white paper in my class. Like free time milta hai, we just have 5 to 6 friends who are interested in. We'll open the white paper and I'll teach them. Even I don't know the whole thing, but how much ever I understand, I just do that. And that's how school life works. And yeah, man, best thing is like my parents, I would say, like got a lot of support in that. Bagi to yeah, it works perfect.
I really liked your point where you said that in your career, either you have to, like in early career, you specifically have to work for your skills and then you can later on monetize that. And like while talking to you, I realized that you are really passionate about learning new things and experimenting and talking with various people, which is just perfect for your own like set of things that you are doing right now related to marketing and community building and all. So the next thing I want to talk about is why did you choose Huddle? Like, was it random DM the reason why you chose Huddle over other Web3 things? And what's your experience working at Huddle right now? And what is Huddle all about? Just talk a little bit on that.
Yeah, perfect. So it was a random DM. I did a lot of people DMs. I did to Sionverse, which is founder is Anshul Rustagi, because I heard a lot of podcasts about him and I was interested to know about him and work with him. I got 2 offers, which was from Sionverse and Huddle01. Like the interview offer, not the job offer. I thought to go with the one principle which I have is if you're working on one thing, just do that. Don't focus on any other thing. So Ayush Ranjan, who is the founder, he DM'd me first that call pe aaja baat karte hain. We did a talk. Then I thought, okay, let's not even talk with Sionverse. Let's keep them on hold. And then Ayush was like, okay, we will hire you and yeah, join our team. And then I was like, take it, then we'll just do for Huddle. And when we talk about the team culture and stuff, I would say like I have not like much experience on other platforms, like how other companies work, because this was my like first company. And I think like I'll not leave it until like a year because like I think this team is very much passionate about what they work and they are like very, very great minds. I would be like very, very like proud to say that our co-founder, which is Sushmit sir, he built the first ever like decentralized exchange of the Asia. He worked with a lot of people like Sandeep Nilwal, the core team. He worked not the core team. He worked with him. He made like the exchange. He sold it to CoinDCX. Sumit Gupta. He was a core team member of CoinDCX. He did a lot of stuff, and he's a person who have a lot of knowledge. I can compare it to like the people who have 100,000, 200,000. Even they don't have that much knowledge. They just know how to place it. They just know how to market it. And he's a person who always constantly learns. And I'll be very honest that I get time to speak to him, and that's the biggest asset. And when I talk about other teammates, all are passionate. In terms, we have a lot of people like Shashank sir. So he's the product lead. I guess you know him. Yeah, he's the person who will teach you how to work hard. He will teach you because he won't tell you to work hard, but you when you see him working, you're like मैं भी काम करूँ. Because you DM it at 2 p.m. He's like अच्छा आजा call पे. You DM it morning 5 morning नहीं होता कभी भी, but anytime he'll be there. He'll be working on every work. He's like damn person. And obviously the founder, which is Ayush, he is like very. He's a person who can like talk to anyone in a friendly manner. He can make you a friend in within 5 minutes. He will just talk to you and you'll be his friend. He knows how to make friends. He knows how to have a very friendly convo rather than a very professional convo. And when we talk about the culture, we have very good culture in terms like we make memes on our founders. So I can't slow you the Slack, but Slack is like we have a section called memes where we make memes on like anyone from the team. Like it's dope. And we also had a like we are currently having a Goa trip where the whole team is like meeting. I did not go because like my family did not allow me. By my sola salvo, that's like everybody tried from my team calling them, like convincing them. But yeah, I get their point, even the parents side, because yeah, like Goa is like very far away place from Chennai. And they don't know the founders and stuff, right? I know him because I work with them. उनको थोड़ी पता है कि कौन क्या करता है, like what is Dex and like who has built it. So I understand their point, but yeah, that's the whole team and everything about Huddle. And when I talk about what is Huddle, so that's a like very interesting topic which I talk about. So Huddle is a Web3 based Zoom, which not only a Web3 based Zoom, it is also an infra based company, infrastructure for anybody who's not aware of that, which means anyone who wants to build, let's say, Zoom clone with a Web3 native feature can use Huddle01 infrastructure and build on it. And they can build very seamlessly, easily, faster, like all the things. It's a more development centric thing. And we have a product called Huddle01, which is Huddle01, which you know, right? People use it. And to be very fair, we have like 16K plus meets which have been done on Huddle, which is a very big amount, I would say. Because like in Web3, specific Web3, we have an NFTs avatars and a lot of Web3 features, I would say. You can just check it out by going on huddle01.com. But to be specific, we have tried to make it more and more easier for people to use it. Because the thing which even I feel is many Web3 products are not that much user friendly. You can talk about Uniswap. That's one of the biggest products, but it's not user friendly. I would say even me, I have been in the industry for a year. Like that's a huge amount. And even I am like kind of dev. I have built some like Web3 dApps with a very small amount of like very basic dApps, but I cannot go on Uniswap and make the deals very fast. I would have to go to a YouTube tutorial to learn that. And think it as a normal person who is not into Web3, who is not into tech. How would he do that? How would he like MetaMask download is also like very hard for a lot of people. And you think like people going on do that. So that's why Huddle is like very much easier to use. If you don't have wallet, just join as a guest and talk. It should not be a barrier for anyone to join. Currently, we focus only Web3 folks to join. That's why like we become a king on one thing, then we can focus on other like industries, right? Otherwise, we'll just be jack of all and like not doing it. But yeah, that's a like definition and like intro for it.
Interesting, man. Like, see, what you said right now about Web3 apps, even I feel the same. Like, when you go to multiple of these like platforms, which are dexes, or maybe you want to stake your crypto assets somewhere to just earn passively, it's very complicated. And for the average user, it sometimes while using these applications, you might fear that my money may just go
Hmm.
into into the wild, right?
Hmm.
So that's a very big barrier to entry, I think, and for that reason, the market is also pretty small. And yeah, I mean, it all makes sense so that new founders can come in and build on top of all these existing frameworks to have
Hmm.
something that's very user friendly and more accessible for people. But yeah, Huddle right now, when I used it, it's very seamless, very similar to Google Meet or Zoom, but except that it has
Hmm.
some unique Web3 features like NFTs, NFT token gated meetings, and all of that.
Yeah.
And it's in beta stage. So if anyone wants to check it out, definitely go to huddle01.com and check it. If you have any issues, I think Preetham can take up those on DMs as well. So I'll drop his
Yeah.
Twitter link as well. Now coming to
Also, sorry to interrupt,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
we have launched the alpha version, so now we are not in beta. Just to like clear. And
interesting.
yeah, go ahead. We have some works,
Just
but
wanted
that will be solved for.
wanted to ask, like, when you guys are launching token, is there a plan to launch your own token for Huddle01?
Hmm.
Many people ask this
Okay.
question
Okay.
because
Yeah.
usually,
That's
in Web3 we see founders raising money through
hmm,
these uh, what
tokens.
do you say, ICO and all of that
Yeah.
before launching the actual product. But in Huddle01, it's very unique, and some other Web3 projects are also doing this. They are
Hmm.
building the product first, they are making it accessible to the public, and then they are raising money in form of tokens, which is built around the product in such
Yeah.
a way you don't feel like yaar main is pe speculate kar raha hu. You actually feel
Perfect.
that you are a part of the entire ecosystem. So just tell me about the plans, what you guys are
Hmm.
thinking to go.
Actually, that's a very interesting question. And the thing is, like everybody asked that, and that's why I smiled a bit because I that's a nostalgia kind of thing because I answered like very often. So Hurdle Zero wants to first target demand, then go for supply in terms. So you see a lot of I will not name them because of like I don't want any issues, but a lot of Web3 protocols have tokens, but they don't have that much demand. They have a lot of nodes, but nobody is using them. So we want first to get at least 100,000 meetings per day so that we can launch our own nodes, which will power the ecosystem. In terms, I'll tell you the like how what is the final goal of Huddle, where we launch it. And that's like a bit far, I would say not within like 6 months, it will take some time. So now we are just focusing on demand for getting people used to the project and getting people trust the project because like it's very important to trust anything. And obviously it's a smart contract base. It will become more and more decentralized. But for now, you have to trust the project, and with time you do that. And we have like focus on demand. So that means like whenever we have 100,000 meetings, which I said like twice, after that, what we'll do is we launch our nodes. That means anyone, even like let's say we both are talking, right? We both have a laptop. So I can become the node and power the whole meet, which is both persons. And then in reward, I'll get the Huddle01 token, which is incentivization, right? So what will happen is latency will drop down because let's say we both are staying very near. We both are living in India, right? So the latency will drop. But let's say for Zoom or Gmeet, the servers are in like somewhere, I don't know, but let's assume as New Zealand. It's a random place, but let's assume. So if it's New Zealand, you are sitting in America and India, that might not be a very good latency thing. But when you are like very close to each other, the latency will drop for sure. And assume, and let's say we both don't want to like host a meet, we want any other random node to do that, then we'll have nodes very like in every area and stuff like how like blockchain works, where we have nodes around the world. They can power the meet and they will get 101 token as a reward. Currently we are learning a lot about crypto economics and we don't want to mess it up. That means like we have to make it very much special and very legit. We don't want to make it like any random token. We can make a lot of money even now. We can just launch a token and people will buy it for sure because people know, like a lot of people in India know what Hurdle01 token and at least Hurdle01 a product. And we have a good investors like Sandeep Nilwal, Polygon team, like a lot of big names. If they just promote, we can get a lot of money and then run away. But they don't want that. We want to make it a very legit thing and make it a very big thing. And people should like be benefited out of it, not just a full or something like that. So yeah, that's a like I think that's the answer.
That's a very interesting viewpoint. Mostly it's very rare in founders, specifically talking in Web2 founders, to eventually build up entire product and then kind of give the entire power to the community. But in Web3, founders who do that are like very rare. And like just you said, Huddle CEO Ayush is an amazing person, and yeah, the plans looked amazing, and hopefully we get to have the tokens very soon. But very interesting answer. But then, like, I would like to wrap up with some personal questions. How would you suggest someone who has just completed his class 12th to enter the Web3 space? What would be your top go-to things to just explore
Okay.
around Web3?
Okay. So it depends on a specific person. So let's say you are a dev centric person, then you should obviously learn to code. And even I think so. I'm a fan of Varun Mana and his philosophies. And even he makes a very good point that learning to code is like very easier compared to any other work. Like it's not easy, I would say. It's very much easier to look for. So you have resources out there, right? You can just write HTML course in Hindi, Tamil, whatever language you have. You'll get the thing and you can learn that and build stuff. And we talk about specific Web3, you have a lot of courses. We have Patrick Collins have made like two courses on JavaScript and one was on Python. So that's a dev thing. I'm not very into dev, so I would not like to touch that. But I would like anyone who want to go to any space, just learn about Web3 through podcasts. Podcasts have helped me a lot. I would say like a lot. So and also it makes you curious, right? So let's say you want to get into Web3, you don't know what you'll get. And the major thing which human want is like kuch to milna chahiye. They want some incentivization. Otherwise, they won't do it. You don't walk daily because you don't get anything. If I tell you that agar daily 2 round मारोगे तो 1000 रुपए दो, you will do it for sure. And the amount can vary upon to like the ratio of a person, like how much paisa uske paas hai. So I tell to Mukesh Ambani तो वो तुला चलेगा. If I give to Mukesh Ambani 1 CR, he will do it. And that's the like capacity of people, right? And I would say that here to podcast and also like podcast recommendation. So if anybody is into Web3 already, I'm not saying to this is not for like any beginners. Kindly hear the Naval Ravikant's podcast with Ethereum founder, which is Vitalik. It's a two podcast series. We have two podcasts. That's a very deep podcast, and it's a hard to understand. I would say like you'll take some time. It's a 20-minute podcast. It will take like a year for you to like understand and absorb that. But like two great minds are speaking about something, you have to hear it. And they talk about how Ethereum governance works, how Vitalik is losing control over Ethereum and making it more and more decentralized. About EIP is like a Ethereum. I just forgot the name. Yeah, yeah. So from that you can make what is that? ERC. After that, it converts into ERC, which is like a protocol, not protocol, a tokenized way. Yeah, token standard. So that's the thing. And if you're a beginner, just look around with podcasts on your own language because that gives you a more connective like vibe. Because if you're, let's say, on a tier two, tier three city, don't hear English podcasts. Don't. At least don't hear Joe Rogan. And I know that it's a very controversial thing, but it's a very hard thing to understand for a like person who doesn't speak good English and doesn't hear good English. And it's a very shocking thing. I live in a tier one city. Chennai is like a metropolitan. But many of my classmates like to hear any English thing with subtitles. They can't hear a like English podcast like nobody hears it. I would say any English video, English movie, they want to hear it with subtitles. You can see imagine the level of understanding in English. English is not very big thing. I would not say that, but in India it is. It's a truth. It's in other countries, it's a language. In India, it's a skill. And this is said by a lot of people like Naval Ravikant and stuff. And I think yeah, that's a like basic answer. But build curiosity in yourself in Twitter mainly. Follow right kind of people, which is like Naval Ravikant is like one of the favorite people. He's not much into like he doesn't speak much about crypto. He speaks on his podcast and stuff, but Twitter is like generic. He speaks about a lot of stuff. Follow Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum. Follow Sandeep Nailwar. Follow like any great philosophers or like surround yourself with good people in a digital era because you don't have a control of surrounding yourself with good people in a physical way that you cannot sit with Ankur Warik, but you can subscribe to his channel and hear him on a regular basis. So that's a way like you can surround yourself, right? And yeah, that's a thing which anyone can look at.
Great, great. Like just last question before wrapping it up. How do you see yourself like moving around in the Web3 space? Because right now you're working as a community manager at Huddle. What are your future plans? Do you want to go into more tech-related jobs, or is it like more into business side of things? What's your perspective? Or maybe if you want to be a founder, just elaborate on that key. What's your plan on it?
So like I did not reveal it everywhere, but okay, I'll give you clues. So to be fair, I am a person who want to try a lot of things because again, age is a very good thing for me, and I have to take a lot of advantage of it. So within 3 months, I'll switch the role of community manager to BD, which is business development, and I'll go more deeper into that because that helps you to develop a skill called like convincing power, because you convince the clients, you get them upon your project, you get paid clients, which is like a not a very easy task in Web3 specifically. I'll do that for a long time, like I would say like 3 to 6 months. Then I might go into tech related job as I'll just do founding work. I'll just found a company and I'll do that. So I would not say that I'll just found a Web3 company. It might be a Web2. It can be anything which solves a problem. That's it. I'm not a person ki Web3 ही होना चाहिए, because I think in many cases we are messing it up. I don't want to reveal, like tell it, because I might be wrong, and if I'm right, that might be controversial. So at many spaces we are doing a lot of wrong things in Web3. We want to decentralize everything, which should not be.
Correct.
One of the thing is government. Government cannot be decentralized. If you decentralize it, there can be a lot of issues. You see, again, I cannot mention it. So I had a talk with Abbas. So if you know, he's like moderator at Huddle, like not Huddle, Learn Web3 Down. He's a very good friend of mine. He lives in Afghanistan, currently Taliban. Talked a lot of controversial things. He's a very open-minded person, to be honest. We talked about religions. We talked about, because we both are opposite religions, right? In India, it's very much taboo thing, but we talked a very good knowledge and insightful thing. Did not record it. The whole 1 hour talk, 1 or 2 hour talk was whole controversial, but we learned a lot about what actually is happening in countries like Afghanistan slash Taliban, and what happened. And again, think that as the whole world which is decentralized in terms of government, it cannot be, right? And again, people are like very against, and again, I'm going a little off topic, but I would like to mention many people are against crypto tax, ki 30% tax, I won't say, but in my point of view, that government is a bit right, because many middle class people invested in crypto and lost a lot of money, and we don't want that, because India doesn't have a very good hype like per capita income. We have very low. At a point, we even had low per capita income than Afghanistan. You think? And the major reason is like we don't, in India, the both gender doesn't work. Only men's work at a many spaces, and we have to make it very normalized in terms ki dono gender काम करे, because that leads to more and more money, which is like the per capita income increases, then the purchasing power increases, many things increase, right? If you earn more, you spend more. And in that case, like government is a bit right, because like if they don't charge any money, people will fall in the pools, people will get scammed in crypto mainly. People regulated bhi nahi hai. You cannot find ki kisne kya kiya hai. And that's again a minus part of crypto. And even I think, again, this is a bit controversial. You can crop it off if you do like. I'll not mention them, but many projects, if they didn't have a token, they won't survive, because people are
Correct.
attracted because of token. That's it. And that's why
Like
NFT
I
collection are
asked you
booming,
the
right?
I asked you the very first question कि हडल ऐसा क्यों कर रहा है? Why are you guys not launching a token? मतलब you just said the reason exactly कि अगर tokens नहीं होंगे तो ये project ही exist नहीं करेंगे. So that's the reason they
Hmm.
have tokens. But when you're like, yeah, you were saying something. Just continue, yeah.
But yeah, I was saying that बहुत सारे projects है, and like it's doing great. I won't say they are doing bad, but it's very, it's not like totally ready, right? They are like marketing it to such a great extent. And again, you cannot speak it on Twitter. अगर कर दो तुम गए, you'll be sued up. I'm saying if you do that, next day you'll get an offer from your company ki sorry, we are like not hiring you. You'll be like sued up for sure. And again, it's a very like controversial topic, and that's why like I don't want to talk with. I thought you ki like you're a genuine person, इसलिए बात नहीं की. I never talk with this. And generally I do it on Huddle because वो save नहीं होता. बाकी again promotion मार दिया मैंने. But yeah, go ahead.
It's okay. Yeah, ठीक है. Like, I mean, you have answered most of the questions. So, thanks for doing this, and really loved it, man. मतलब, when I talked with you, मुझे ऐसा लगा कि I got a new perspective from your side of a student who is in class 12th. So, yeah, very interesting, and yeah, let's keep doing this in future as well if you want. And yeah, thanks. That's all.
Sure,
So I'm
sure,
stopping the
sure.
recording.